I have to edit videos. Hello everyone, I'm just going to be going straight into the point as I don't want to make this video 20 to 30 minutes long, so either way, let's go. I'm going to be ranking through these through 1 to 10. Without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it, starting off with the shotguns. The Mosconi 12 Classic is both the worst and as well as a great shotgun in the game. Worst because you only have 2 shots in your magazine, no shit, it's a double barrel. But combined with the replenishment as well as ammo funnel, you got a shotgun that is able to do a lot of damage in a very quick session. Capable of killing a shield in 2 hits, and as well as rip a doser's faceplate with 2 shots. Good accuracy, good handling, not really special. It's a very good shotgun that shouldn't really need to be said much. Next up we have on the list is the SPAS 12, or aka the SPAS 12. It used to be a very unique shotgun, but now is literally the worst shotgun in the game. Slow rate of fire, bad hipfire spread, and as well as bad, shotgun pellet spread, and as well as the damage fall-off is just bad. Even at medium range, it does struggle a lot. Like, sometimes it takes either 2 or 3 hits to kill a light unit, which is something a shotgun should not really be doing, but hey, here we are. It used to be a very unique shotgun, but now it's just the worst in the game. The Reinfield is literally the SPAS 12 bit, but better in every shape and form. Better accuracy, better spread, better rate of fire, better handling, literally better in every shape and form. It's able to kill bulldozers in a much more quicker session. That's it. The M7 Pursuivant of the 30 burst shotgun is very good, but the only problem I have is the fact that it's a burst shotgun. Why is that a burst shotgun? I have no idea, but either way. Good damage, but it's a problem I have is the delay that it has after every burst, but I can understand that. But then again, enemies that are like more spread out or widened out is going to really fuck this shotgun along, because there's going to be a lot of difference between being able to consistently shoot and having to constantly wait for that delay to go away. And yeah, but against enemies that are like crowded up together, it's going to really shred them to pieces because of how effective it is. And the damage is pretty good, and it has a solid range because for some reason the game says that it has a solid range because of its being a bulb-up problem. For some reason. Anyway, it's a good shotgun, but against like widened out enemies or on like bigger open area maps, it's not really going to be that good. The semi-auto shotgun from the Syntax Error, known as the FSA 12 gauge, is literally the best shotgun in the game. Good rate of fire, good damage. It's literally the best shotgun in the game. Don't really need to say much. It will shred through every enemies like butter, kill shields quicker, shred through bulldozers like without any problems. SMGs. The Ziv Commando. The best SMG in the game when it comes to close range engagements. Not even the MP5 and MP7 are able to really match this baby's damage. Against light units, it is able to literally shred them like butter. The same thing can be said with heavy units as long as they have face-to-face. The problem with the Ziv Commando is its terrible accuracy and its ineffectiveness against the medium and longer ranges, because it does struggle a little bit. It has the best hipfire accuracy amongst the rest of the SMGs. The rate of fire is the highest in the game compared to the other SMGs, but the problem I have is the fact that it has a smaller magazine capacity, but use an extended mag and you'll be completely fine, and as well as aggressive reload and face-to-face, then you have an SMG that is able to literally shred through every enemy without any problems whatsoever. And against shields and bulldozers, it's not even a competition. This thing will literally easily shred them without a problem. This is an amazing SMG, but at medium and longer ranges, the problem really comes in. The FAK PC9 sort of fixes that problem when it comes to having terrible range and as well as suffering at medium and long ranges. Although it is not better than the Ziv Commando when it comes to close range engagements against light and heavy units, but it is better in medium and longer ranges. It's pretty much just the Ziv Commando but has better range, and it's also pretty much the Northwest but better against light units, but struggles against heavy units on medium range. But as long as you have face-to-face and you're able to hit your shots in the head, it's a really good SMG. But when it comes to, again, shields, it is able to really get rid of them easily if you're able to land your hits. Against bulldozers, it does struggle a little bit, but as long as you hit your shots with an extended magazine, you shouldn't really have a big of a problem to begin with. Solid rate of fire, solid recoil, everything about the SMG is pretty good. It's just the Ziv Commando, but for longer ranges. The MP7, it's pretty much the MP5 but has a faster rate of fire and as well as better handling. It's more focused on close range engagements because of its very fast rate of fire. It will shred through enemies with ease, but is not as quick as the Ziv Commando. And it is also an SMG that is able to pierce through a shield's visor and is able to kill bulldozers very effectively if it can hit all of your shots. The only problem I can say is the fact that it is slightly weaker on medium range because the MP5 does that better, but then again, it's still pretty good on medium range if you're able to handle the recoil and as well as handle its stability. It's a very good SMG, but it's more focused on close range engagements. But it's not better than the Ziv Commando on close range, but it's still pretty good. The War SMG is a very underrated SMG. It's pretty much the Car 4, but is a lot more lightweight. The difference between them is that it has a better stability, It has better hipfire accuracy and as well as a faster reload speed. It's very good. It will get the job done when needed. It's very versatile, very accurate to use, very easy to control. There's really nothing wrong with the SMG, although it is slightly slower, but it's not really that much big of a problem, but it can be against bulldozers. But then again, it's a very versatile assault rifle at medium and longer ranges because of its very stable recoil and very fast reload speed. It's a very good SMG that a lot of people don't really use a lot, which is kind of sad because it's a very good SMG. The MP5 is pretty much the MP7 but more focused on longer ranges. The only difference between them is that the MP5 has more damage and as well as better stability and recoil. That's pretty much it. And I think it has a slightly faster reload speed. I'm not really sure. I can't really tell the difference, but either way, it doesn't really matter. It's pretty much the MP7 but better at medium and longer ranges because the MP7 for some apparent reason cannot have a scope attached to it that has a bigger zoom. The highest zoom you can have for the MP7 is like 1.15. Meanwhile, for the MP5, you can have to upwards of 1.8. So the SMG or the MP5 is more or less a longer range version of the MP7, which is not really that much, you know, big surprising, but hey, it's still pretty good. It's one of those SMGs that's used a lot by many players because it's an MP5, but either way. It's not better than the MP7 when it comes to close range engagement, but it's still pretty good. The fire accuracy is better, but either way, it's still a pretty good SMG nonetheless. Next up, we're just starting off with the assault rifles being the Northwest. The Northwest is just pretty much the FIK, but slightly better against heavy units. That's it. It's like, the strange is, like, the FIK is better than the Northwest when it comes to light enemies, but weaker against heavy units, so that's where the Northwest sort of comes in. Better against heavy units, but slightly weaker against light units because the FIK has better rate of fire, but either way. The Northwest is very good against light enemies and as well as heavy units if you have face-to-face, but even on medium range, it's still pretty good, but it's not as versatile. But it's not as good. But it's still a very good assault rifle that will get the job done when needed. It's really good. It's one of those assault rifles where it's simply solid. Good against shields, good against dozers, it's not a really big deal. Good reload speed, good handling, everything about the assault rifle is pretty good. Next up we have is the Car 4, which is literally better than the Northwest, although the difference between them is that the Car 4 is weaker against light units because the Northwest has a faster rate of fire, and the Car 4 is better off against heavy units because of its capability of two-shotting heavy units with face-to-face. No, I am not lying to your face when I say this, it is able to two-shot heavy and light units with the face-to-face in 2 hits. Wow. And is able to kill shields a lot quicker than the Northwest, and as well as kill bulldozers quicker than the Northwest. It's basically the Northwest, but better in medium ranges and as well as longer ranges because of its much more stable recoil and as well as better recoil. Well, the stability is slightly weaker, but the recoil makes it better, and it's a lot more modifiable, so because you can modify the barrel, meanwhile you can't do it with the Northwest, so yeah. It's basically the Northwest, but better against heavies and as well as dozers and in longer ranges. That's it. The AK is pretty much the Car 4, but better, but the only difference between them is that it suffers a little bit of its rate of fire. The AK is good on close range, but the Car 4 does better in close range. But then again, that doesn't mean the AK is worse. It's very good, able to two-shot enemies at longer ranges and as well as have better stability compared to the Car 4, and it's very controllable. So, yeah, sure it has a slower rate of fire and as well as worse handling, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's better. It's a very good assault rifle that will get the job done, and is able to kill shields and bulldozers much more quicker because of its higher damage and penetration. It's a very good assault rifle. It's the perfect assault rifle in every scenario. It's good, reload speed is good, everything about the assault rifle is good. The only problem is the slightly slower rate of fire and slightly low handling, but other than that, it's a very good assault rifle, and it's amazing. One of my #1 favorite because it's an AK. The Adelig. It's the Adelig. I fucking hate this thing. I really hate this thing. I want to burn it to the ground. It's too good, man. Like, why is it so good? Good accuracy, good stability, recoil. Like, why? The only downside this thing has is its slow rate of fire and as well as low ammo capacity, and it's very painfully slow reload speed, and it sucks against the bulldozer. I'm sorry, but this thing really sucks ass against the bulldozer. Like, the assault rifle is so good, but it just sucks ass against bulldozer, and that's what's really ruining for me. So yeah, sure it can one-shot, but I fucking hate this thing so much because of its slow rate of fire and slow reload speed, and god, it's just, I don't like using this gun, it's so boring. The Scar. One of the worst assault rifles in the game, but the only good thing about it is its capability of one-shotting enemies. Horrible recoil, horrible stability, horrible accuracy, horrible handling, horrible rate of fire, horrible ammo capacity. The only good thing is its capability of one-shotting enemies, that's it. It's horrible against bulldozer, don't even bother using this, just grab a pistol that's good against bulldozers. It's good against shields, but the recoil is so bad that it's just better off to be using this in close range encounters because of its capability of one-shotting enemies, but even then, like, the recoil is just so bad, and the stability is just terrible. Like, you have to really, like even if you do try to, like, make the recoil good, like, the handling is going to fuck you up so badly. It's so slow and sluggish. But the only reason it's good is because it can one-shot, so, yeah, yippee. Let's go over with the DMRs. The FIK-22 TLR is pretty much the AK, but a lot more accurate. That's it. The only difference between them is that the AK is able to shoot out consistent damage, meanwhile that the FIK is able to be more accurate and precise. Better recoil and better stability, but the only difference between them is that the FIK can one-shot enemies at close range encounters with face-to-face. So yeah, even against light and heavy units. It is horrible against bulldozers, that's my biggest grudge with this. So yeah. It's like, if you want a more precise version than the AK, go with the FIK, but if you want a more consistent damage, then stick with the AK because of its faster reload speed and as well as better rate of fire. That's pretty much it. And the AK has better accuracy and handling, somehow, but either way I'm not going to question it. But it's a very good DMR. It will get the job done. It's very good. The SA-144 is also a very good DMR. It's good. That's it. Solid stability, solid recoil, solid accuracy, handling, and rate of fire. The rate of fire is pretty good if you're able to tap it very quickly. The damage is good enough for you to be able to two-shot shields, and against bulldozers it is a little bit weaker. It's very accurate. Hip-fire spread is good, everything about it is just solid, but the recoil is just sort of set it back a little bit, but it's very good. And because it has a scope, some skills can be very effective with it, like under the sharpshooter skill tree. It's very good, very versatile. The sniper rifle, aka the Reinfield 880, or 900, pardon me, fucked up my memory, it's a sniper rifle. It's good. Accuracy is good. The only stat you really should be focusing on is the handling. And that's it. Hipfire spread is fine, it's not really that much good, but it's still good. One-shotting 90% of the enemies except for bulldozers. Make sure they have a secondary against the bulldozer, as other than that, it's a very effective sniper rifle. It will pierce through multiple enemies, and as well as with the cutting edge, or cutting shot, it's a very good weapon, even on close range, if you're able to time it well, and as well as gather up multiple enemies behind each other. It's very good. Although the rate of fire is pretty slow, but if you like to fight off against the distance and keep yourself safe, it's very good. Heists on like Houston Breakout, Road Rage, and as well as Golden Shark, it's a very effective sniper rifle capable of killing enemies in one shot at a very large distance. It's very good. There's really no means to say that, but at close and medium range it does struggle a little bit because of its very slow rate of fire, but other than that, it's very good. The Blyspruta, or the LMG, is good. The closest weapon that sort of like resembles this is the Car 4, but the only difference between them is that, well, the Car 4 is better at dishing out damage in a more quicker pace because of it has a magazine. It reloads faster and deals more damage. But the Blyspruta is better off against like crowded enemies. So heists like Houston Breakout and as well as Fearing Greed, or enemies or on other heists where the enemy spawn rate is very high, the Blyspruta comes into play. But if you want a weapon that is able to kill a lot of enemies without constantly having to reload, then the LMG comes into play. It's a very versatile assault rifle, but it is a little bit weaker against bulldozers, not as effective as the Car 4 and the AK, but it does get the job done against the bulldozer. But against every other enemy you can think of, it's very good. Grab face to face and you got yourself a weapon that is able to really shred through enemies without having to constantly reload. It's very good. You know, I don't really need to say much. Oh yeah, I forgot about the FAMAS. Whoopsie daisy. My bad, cuh. Anyway, the FAMAS. I really like this weapon. It's very good. It's better than it's better than most of the assault rifles if you can aim. I feel like this weapon is really hated for some reason. I don't know why it's hated a lot, but it's a very good weapon. Really good damage, really good rate of fire, really good accuracy, stability, handling, everything about the rifle is good. The only problem is it's French. Anyway, it's a French weapon. Do I really need to say much? But either way, it's a very effective assault rifle. It has a faster kill time than the Car 4 as well as the AK. And you might think, well, that might be better then. But not really. Because it has a delay after every shot, it is going to mess you up a little bit, but it does have the fastest rate of fire compared to the other assault rifles. But it is very good, and it has the best hipfire accuracy. And the iron sights on this baby, mwah, it's perfect. But because it's a French weapon and burst weapon, a lot of people don't really tend to really rely with it because it's a burst weapon. If you can't aim, then the FAMAS is going to really mess you up because it requires precision with this one. But if you can aim really well and you can handle the weapon, then it's going to really help you a lot. The only downside being is that it is a little bit weak against shields and as well as bulldozers, but other than that, it is very reliable. It is very accurate, it's very powerful, and will get the job done when needed. But again, the only struggle is that it's French, it's slightly bad against shields and as well as bulldozers. That's my only complaint. But either way, it's a good weapon. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. There is no such thing as a bad weapon in Payday 3. Even if, like, the Mosconi as well as the Spaz 12 exist, sure, they are considered like the worst shotguns in the game, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're worst in the game. All the weapons in Payday 3 are good, and they offer their own little bit of differences. They all are different in their own ways. Sure, they may be similar to some weapons, but there is enough difference to the point where they feel different. Anyway, all the weapons in Payday 3 are really good. Do not let anyone say that a specific weapon class is bad or a specific weapon is bad, because they probably just suck ass at the game and can't aim for shit. Which don't surprise me if they're one of those people that use the Adelig and the Deagle constantly. Don't fucking listen to those degenerates. Please, don't. You don't need to listen to them. Every weapon in Payday 2 or Payday 3 is good. Every single one of them you can think of. Even the sniper rifle at close range can be good if you're able to aim. Literally. All these weapons are effective. They all have their uses and they all feel different. All of them feel different. So yeah. I hope this video gave you a better insight on how every single weapon works, and I hope this rank can give you a better understanding on how they are. They're all very good in their own ways, in one way or another, and that's all I can pretty much say. Take care of each other, treat each other with respect, show some love to one another, and do not be an asshole to another. And that's pretty much it. Just do not be an asshole, just treat each other like family, okay? Thank you. We all have our differences, we all have our opinions. But for me, as someone who knows the game well, every weapon is good. But I love you all. But either way. See you all next time. Now get out of my house. I am going to do some very important life things. Anyway, goodbye and I'll see each and every one of you next time. Now get out of my house. Shoo.